we are here to talk about our teenagers' digital literacy, which is really crucial thing these days. And our today's topic is sharing and interacting online. So how we're gonna work? I have some theoretical material, not very much. We will look at how this particular core area, sharing and interacting online, which is the core area, how exactly it works, how it works in the Cambridge framework for life competencies, and which components it consists of. There will be 3 practical tips on how to develop each of the skills within sharing and interacting online. It also breaks into 3 skills. And we will have a look at one of the digital skills development blocks in the Prepare for School Exams course book, which is the course book created specifically for the 10th grade for students of the 10th grade, and it's a book created together with Cambridge University Press, Cambridge Assessment English, and the Linguist Publishing House. So let's go. First of all, what we need to see is how exactly this digital literacy works in terms of one core skill. So digital literacy as a foundation level, one of the 3 foundation levels in the system of Cambridge Framework for Life Competencies. It's not a life skill. It's important to remember that there are 6 main life skills, which are critical creative thinking, collaboration, communication, social responsibility, and learning to learn. 6 skills, like, how do I show it this way? 6 skills which are considered to be life skills. Yeah, they are, they have their own systems inside, but there are also foundation level skills. And one of them is digital literacy, another emotional development, and another one is the subject knowledge. Why they are different? Because they are these 3 foundation levels, they all involve life skills inside of them, and they all go through all of each life skills. Yeah, so social responsibility is also important for digital literacy. They work together. Communication works through digital literacy. Digital literacy works through communication, as well as the subject. English language subject includes all of the life skills and all of the foundation levels, because both emotional development, digital literacy, collaboration, communication, and so on are all combined in the subject English language, as well as they are combined in other subjects, but in a little bit different manner, right? So this is why digital literacy is not a separately standing life skill, but it's a foundation level on which we can build on the life skills, on which we can build on the rest what we are teaching. Yeah, it's like a basis that we need to develop for development of the rest. Okay. This digital literacy consists of 3 main core areas, which are using tools and creating digital content, sharing and interacting online, safety and well-being online. Our today's topic would be sharing and interacting online. Why? Because at the previous webinar, we had using tools and creating digital content. You can watch it on the YouTube channel, our linguist YouTube channel, if you missed it. So you know the beginning of it. Now I'm just reminding a little bit about the digital literacy as it is, but there previously we had the general introduction into this topic. So now we're continuing with sharing and interacting online as a core area within digital literacy. It relates to the ability to communicate and connect, learn, collaborate with peers, discover and share new information, and generate innovative ideas with others, right? So here we can already see communication, collaboration, creativity, discover, creating and discovering new information, generating innovative ideas. Yeah, so we see these three life competencies, main life competencies that are developed through this core area. I'll just check what's going on there in the chat because I see some activity. More greetings. Greetings to you too. Okay. Moving on. Now, at the same time, sharing and interacting online falls into three other skills within this core area. Sharing and interacting online consists of connecting and interacting with others using appropriate technology, collaborating with others digitally to complete a task, interacting appropriately in a digital space. These are three different components, let's say, components within sharing and interacting online. So when we look at the framework that Cambridge Research Department suggests us, connecting and interacting with others using appropriate technology has a can-do statement. What does it mean? If we see that our secondary student, which is from the 5th to the 9th grade, selects and uses a range of appropriate digital communication tools and platforms to communicate with teachers and peers, if we see that they are doing it, then we can tell that this particular skill is developing or being developed. Yeah, and how we can tell? Example language for this skill is, shall we use this or that communication tool? For example, shall we use WhatsApp to make a group chat? Shall we use Padlet to work on this project? Shall we use Miro to brainstorm ideas? Shall we use Zoom to have a lesson? Yeah. So if the students understand which communication tool works for which task, then we can say it's being developed. Now, collaborating with others, here we go. Collaborating with others digitally to complete a task. The can-do statement here discusses the advantages and disadvantages of digital tools chosen for a collaborative task. For example, one advantage of using this kind of tools is, example language for understanding whether this skill is being developed. So one advantage of Zoom is that it has breakout rooms. Disadvantage of Google Meet, for example, is that I cannot demonstrate the screen and see all the participants at the same time, and so on. So if students can compare advantages and disadvantages of different tools, we see that their collaboration with others to complete a task is being developed. Interacting appropriately in a digital space. How to describe this? How to see what results we're expecting. If the student uses clear, concise, and respectful language when sharing ideas and responding to others online, for example, interacting via learning management system or forum. We have different kinds of forums in the Moodle tool, or if you're using Cambridge One on Cambridge Learning Management System, CLMS, then there are also blogs and forums, and we check whether students are being respectful to each other. In addition, there are bigger platforms like Future Learn or Coursera, which students can also use, especially at the 10th grade. Students can use to develop some other skills. And there will also be forums where they can discuss some ideas and there use respectful language, understand that what they are saying should be clear and understandable for others. Why this is important? I will, and you can see here example language. Good point. I'd also say, if we're adding comments, for example, why this is important? Because these days, for example, now I'm working together with Cambridge University Press and the Linguist Company. I'm also working for one of the Norwegian newspapers, and there we have I have to do a lot of work, like checking the news, understanding where to go, and I'm in touch with different people from different cities of Ukraine, and I'm in touch with different journalists and so on and so on. And we all have group chats, and in a group chat there can be up to 1,000 people. And it is important that we all have respectful communication. We understand who is leading this chat, what it is for. We observe all the rules of this communication. And there is also this this idea in the new media, which is the social media, for example, Facebook, that I can write something and I can come see this post and comment whatever I want, whether it's my friend or not, and comment in different ways. And there is a lot of this negative experience coming from this virtual space, which is not real. So you need to explain the students that online communication is just the same as normal communication, where you should be respectful. It's just virtual, but it's the same. And whatever you say, you can also say when you look into the person's eyes. This is important to keep this, to make it a safe space, and make this modal safe space in your blogs or forums or whatever you use for your teaching. Now, when we're talking about these particular skills with it, okay, what's there in the chat? Let's see. Something's going on. More hellos. Hello. Now, when we look at connecting and interacting with others using appropriate technology, what can it be? Blog comments. If you don't use your specific tools like Google Classroom, or if you have some platform at your school like Moodle or some other tools, you can look at WordPress and Blogger. How to use it. At the end of a course book, at the end of the course book unit, have learners write a short blog post about the topic or what they have learned. Set up a class blog, for example, using WordPress and Blogger for learners to share their posts. Encourage learners to comment on each other's blogs and to respond to each other's comments. And you can actually find it online, WordPress and Blogger. Let's have a little look at them. Okay, this is a different one. Sorry. Okay, here we go. Blogger. So to create your blog, you just press this. Oh, of course, you have to register before. Anyways, I'm from a different account, but it's very easy to register here. You create your blog. You can add. You can choose your design. You can actually. Earn money with this blog and see who's looking at it. You can download, upload videos, photos, and whatever you want to upload here. And you can create your own class blog to use it just for English language, for this course book. And it becomes a little bit more real for students because they are actually creating content, sharing content, and interacting online on this Blogger website. The same with the WordPress. You can have a look and choose which one looks better for you. Okay. And people do read it, especially in English language. Your students can even find friends there which come from other countries. Okay, now, sorry, I need to. Okay, let's try this way. I will need to ask you, do you see my screen? Yeah, okay, great. Sorry for this, a little technical thing. Now, in this case, you teach your students to use appropriate technology for interacting online and connecting online. Not only this WordPress and blog. Why it's good? Because it's something different from what they have usually, and there is also information that on average today's teenagers have up to 16 or 20 accounts on different types of media. Which is crazy, and you can add more for them. But this is the reality of today. We need to keep up with all this reality, and this will actually be very useful in their future. Like many companies now use different tools that look like that, but they are internal tools, and such tools as SharePoints or in Microsoft Office. There are also forums. There is a Yammer, for example, for internal use for communicating of colleagues who live all around the world, and so on. So this will be really helpful for them in their future work, especially if they're going to work in an international company or work from home, as it's now very popular. Now, collaborating with others digitally to complete a task. For this, you can use a tool called PBWorks. You can see here, and create the class Wikipedia, class wiki for the new lexical material, for example. This is a wiki site, and you can use it to set up a class bank of definitions for the new words relating to the topic you are teaching in the class. And it will be easy for students to navigate. At the end of each lesson, nominate 2 or 3 learners to take responsibility for adding words from that day. Yeah, and it can become your new routine. Like, who is on duty today? Add the words to the wiki class. Once entries have been added, encourage other learners in the class to modify and update each other's entries by adding example sentences to illustrate the meaning of new words. This class wiki looks like this Here we go. Oh no. Yeah. It looks like this. So it's actually the administrative page, which is accessible for anyone. And you can see how many people look at your page and so on. And you can also go to the training to understand how exactly it works. And it's also the worldwide thing that your students can use and take part in creating the bank of definitions. So yeah, you can have a look at this website and create your dictionary, your lexical bank of what you're doing. Now, this is PB Works. Moving on, back here. Oh gosh, I'm sorry for this. We're doing this again. Sorry. Now, another thing, interacting appropriately in a digital space. First of all, you need to teach your students such a term as netiquette. Yeah, there is a term etiquette and there is a term netiquette. This is actually etiquette online. Netiquette, you can write it on the board, or if you're using Zoom or Google Meets, then you can, sorry, then you can just choose the tool there, the whiteboard, and write it down. Netiquette, what's this? Or you can use Miro, another great website, to brainstorm what can it be and what netiquette consists of. Now, you elicit what it means in this way, then set the rules that are of the acceptable behavior on the internet, and ask learners to think of some examples of netiquette rules. Yeah, and your students can create those rules on their own. This is a really great thing that always works, because it's kind of students feel how democracy works. Yeah, they create their own constitution of netiquette, and then they have to obey their own rules. Yeah, and it's much easier to make students work with the rules and take the responsibility if they are the ones who created the rules and who set this responsibility. So you can see here, like, avoid typing in all capitals. It sounds like shouting. Yeah. Use the appropriate register for the person you're interacting with, like Mr., Mrs., hey there, or so on. Check spelling and grammar. Very important thing, because we often omit this, we often don't really care about this, but still there is official emailing, and if we are talking about commenting educational blogs or taking part in the forums on such websites as FutureLearn or Coursera, it's better if you use appropriate if you use proper grammar. Yeah. Still, it's understandable that not all of us know grammar perfectly, but it's always good to improve on this. Now, don't email large files. Fact check content before reposting. Keep messages relevant and concise, and so on. Yeah, your students can make the whole set of those rules. Now, when learners encounter digital communication texts in course materials, for example, in the form of emails, chat room conversations, or social media messages, ask them to consider whether the material demonstrates good or bad netiquette and elicit examples. You can have these rules somewhere close to you, so you always have where to relate, where to make reference. Yeah. Okay, moving on. In our new course book, Prepare for School Exams, which is not just about school exams, but also it's general English course for the 10th grade, for students of the 10th grade, that leads your students from level B1 to level B2, and prepares your students for school exams, which are ZNO, the external independent evaluation assessment, and also for Cambridge English qualifications, which is B1 preliminary and B2 first, depending on the student's level. In this book, there are levels B1, B2, and this book is an adaptation of the original Prepare level 6. Why it is a cool book? Because first of all, it's cheaper, and second, it also involves all the needs of Ukrainian curriculum. There are Ukrainian culture components, there are all the how you call them, all the demands of the state standard, and and in this book we have the preparation for ZNO. How it was done together with the Cambridge experts and Ukrainian experts in education and publishing. So the structure of the book is not very much changed, but the focus is not only on Cambridge English qualifications, but also on our state qualifications, which still doesn't make this book only exam focused. It's general English and life skills. For example, one of the life skills that is being developed throughout the course is the ICT literacy or digital literacy, or we can see here the direct reference to sharing and interacting online. The topic of this section is using social media responsibly. There are 2 pages, page 72, 73, here on how to work online, how to interact online, and how to be safe online, of course. Before we start, in this topic, students are discussing what is this life skill, what does it mean to use social media responsibly, and here is a little explanation of what it is. Then from this explanation, there are several questions, like normal topic in general English course book, but also it develops students' responsibility a lot. Which social media apps or sites do you use? What do you use them for? And so on. So students have a little discussion, and then they need to read an article. Of course, there is an exam task in this article, like choose A to H that fits in each gap. There are gaps in the text, so it's typical exam task, but at the same time, they're getting familiar with the ideas of how to be responsible online. So there simultaneously there is a language work and there is a life skill development. Then we have another task: read the article again and answer the questions, whether you agree with the advice given in the article or not. So students again have discussion, then they work on the lexical material from this article, and here you can actually use this PB Works at the wiki sites, and in the wiki class that you created, students can add these words and definitions and examples from the text to work on their remembering of lexical material, and improving it and enriching it. Now, there are also 2 listening tasks also done in the exam format, which are true or false. Yes, students listen to an expert who is talking about interacting online, and then students choose true or false. And after that, they also work on the language more. Again, we can use the wiki sites. And then students have a project. This project can also be done on the bloggers website, where students can even make a set of rules or guidance on working responsibly on social media, using social media responsibly, and make a short video about how it's done using their phones, and then uploading this to the blog, and this will be the final presentation of this topic. So I will remind you about these websites. WordPress or Blogger. For me, Blogger looks more attractive, and PB Works. You can also find all these cards that I'm using here in our free downloadable life competencies cards. There will be a link in your thank you letter after this webinar. Yeah, I'm sorry for the lighting here in my room. We have no electricity, so I'm being creative with the lights from only computer. So sorry for that. Now, I guess we're coming to the end of our webinar. I will just remind you that for your online interactions, we still have video lessons. We still have a lot of resources for Ukrainian teachers, free resources. We still work on the new Ukrainian school, on supporting the new Ukrainian school concept of education, which involves a lot of digital materials, which are on the Publishing Linguist website. Again, the links will be in your thank you letter after this webinar. So don't forget to open it in 1-2 days after the webinar. We have monthly webinars and recordings of these webinars on our YouTube channel. We have a set of live events recorded on also our Facebook page, and they are involved in our Support Ukrainian Teachers website. We have a lot of PDFs and other life hacks and articles on our Facebook page. So if you are still not a member of our Facebook community, please join us to our social media and learn everything from there, because that's where we have all the news always posted, the most recent news. And yeah, Cambridge Life Competencies cards will be also included into your thank you letter. Now, sorry, that's the end from me. If you have any questions, I will be happy to answer. About how much is the book, it's better to check with your manager in the linguist company. They are forming the orders, but you can also visit our Publishing Linguist website and our Just Linguist UA website to see how much is what. how much are the courses? Sorry. Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone. It's great to have so many thank yous. I will just remind that this certificate will also be in your thank you letter in a few days after the webinar. So please don't email me. Imagine there are 400 people who were at this webinar altogether. And if you all email me about the certificate, I won't be able to answer all that. So wait for your thank you letter, which will come to you. There will be the Google form. After filling out the Google form, you will get your certificate. Okay, thank you very much. And I'm leaving this room. Have a great week.